I'm Robert Williams from MetalRules.com, and joining me tonight in Austin, Texas for this year's Fun Fest is vocalist George Corpsegrinder Fisher of death metal legends Cannibal Corpse. How you doing today, George?
Great. It's a little warm, but nothing we're not used to being in Florida.
Yeah?
Yeah. So typical, same kind of weather, you know.
You're back performing in Texas, and this comes just a couple of months after announcing that you're recording your new album in Tornillo, Texas at Sonic Ranch Studios with Eric Rutan. How far along in the process are you guys on that?
We're done all the recording. They're going to be mixing and mastering right now. I actually did the vocals in St. Petersburg. I didn't go out to Sonic Ranch this time. They just recorded everything. We had to do a couple extra guitar tracks at Eric's studio and the solos, but the mixing and the mastering will be done, you know, well, the mixing will be done there, you know. So all the rest of the stuff will be getting done there, but we're done all the recording. So now they're just, you know, getting the thanks list together, getting, you know, the cover art's done. Cover art's done. We're pretty much done all that, and we're just, you know, getting everything together to get it out. Probably, you know, February, March.
So is your famed artist Vincent Locke doing the new cover?
Yep, it's done. The new cover's done. It's sick looking, and I guarantee you, people won't be. We've had a few complaints about, you know, the Kill album cover. Sorry, Kill album cover. People didn't like the Evisceration Plague album cover. They didn't think it was, you know, brutal enough. You know what I mean? And even the inside, you know, art, I thought they liked it, but, you know, we just had a little bit of gripes, but I don't see how anybody can gripe about this one. I mean, we're going to have a little, you know, sleeve covering the, you know, the record, and when you buy it, you know, you take the sleeve out, and then you get the real artwork, you know. And when people see the album cover, it's pretty damn brutal. So people will be happy. I think people will be totally happy about it. And Vince, you know, as usual, did a great job. I mean, he's like, you know, he's like our sixth member, you know what I mean? I mean, everyone, they know us for the music and the live shows and whatnot, but they know us also from the album covers, and this one is definitely one of his best, you know. And definitely, I know this is a cliche, but this album, I really think it's by far our best sounding album. I mean, the guitars are so fucking heavy on this album.
Eric on Kill, you worked with him on Evisceration. Yeah. Now again on the new one. What keeps you guys coming back to him, man? Is it because he has an ear?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. You know, obviously, him being a great guitar player and you know, in Hate Eternal, and he's an awesome singer as well. You know, he sings and plays guitar for them. He's when he hears things, you know, he hears things that some of us don't, and, you know, vice versa. We're all working together to make the best record, but, you know, he gets a great sound. He's very, you know, picky about certain things, you know, in a good way. And I mean, I don't know, he's fun, for me, like personally, he's just fun to work with, just doing the vocals, you know. I mean, this was the hardest album for me, vocal-wise, you know. I had a tough time, I had some problems with my vocals, really, you know, staying up to par, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and we worked through it, and we got it all done, and I don't think I'm not disappointed by it at all, but he worked with me through that, you know what I mean? And he, you know, kept me being positive when I was just ready to just, you know, throw shit through, you know, through the fucking window of the fucking studio.
You think it'll be out before your UK tour in March with Enslaved and Triptychon?
What, the album?
No?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure we're looking for a February, March release date, so we usually time it, either we're on tour right before it's coming out, or on, you know, on tour like right as it comes out, or it comes out just before. So around that time, yeah, for sure. That's like we're doing this show, and then we're doing like 8 shows in South America, Mexico. We're going down there. We're doing 70,000 tons of metal. We're doing a show before that in Fort Lauderdale, like the day before we leave for the cruise show. And then the Behemoth tour in Europe, that's like pretty much the official first tour for this album.
Yeah. Writing lyrics is sort of a group effort for Cannibal Corpse. What inspired you guys lyrically this time around?
Well, it sort of is a group effort. I'm not part of that group though, you know. I don't ever write lyrics. I mean, people have asked me this. Sorry again. It's like an age-old question, you know, why don't you write lyrics? I don't know. I just haven't done it, you know. Paul and Alex wrote the bulk of the lyrics on this. Rob wrote like 3 songs, you know. Well, Rob wrote 3 songs and then wrote lyrics for 2. I don't know. I'm content with just doing what I do, you know, headbanging and singing. And I mean, I'll never say never. Maybe next time I'll write something, you know. But as it stands, those guys wrote it. I'm happy with what they did, and you know, I think the same thought process goes into writing these lyrics as, you know, the last albums kill people, you know?
Yeah.
Zombies and fucking stuff like that kill people, you know? That's pretty much Cannibal Corpse. I mean, we're not going to stray away from, you know, what we do, you know? I mean, it's still fast, it's brutal, it's heavy, you know what I mean? It's got some groove in it here and there, just like everything we've ever done. I don't mean to make it sound like it's the same old record over and over again, but anyone that's a fan of this band, especially in the past, you know, 10, 15 years, is going to love it. I really think they're going to really love it, and the lyrics are along the same lines. They're disgusting, and they'll piss people off, and some people will smile, some people will be angry, and fuck the angry ones.
So tell me about this past August, you performed the None Shall Defy album with Majesty in its entirety. How'd that come about? And was it weird for you playing in a different band?
No, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I've known Steve and Kenny, you know, from Majesty since 1998. We did a tour with them in Dark Funeral. We shared a bus with them. But I bought their first album in 1987 when it came out. You know what I mean? I bought None Shall Defy when it came out. I was 17 years old, you know, and I got it. And I love the album, you know, from when I got it till now. And, you know, we did the tour with them, and we kept in contact with Steve. And whenever we play in Seattle or in Vancouver, you know, he comes to the show. And so he was just like, you know, I was like, you know, I'll come up, you know, hang out. And he said, well, hey, we could just do a show for the fuck of it, you know what I mean? You know, no money, nothing like that, just let's fucking play a show, you know? And I was like, yeah, man, we'll do, you know, and he was like, yeah, we'll just do None Shall Defy, you know, and, you know.
Who are some of your other early influences? Who like, made you want to be a metal vocalist?
Oh, well, obviously, you know, I mean, well, you know, I started listening to shit like, you know, Black Sabbath, you know, Iron Maiden, Accept, Judas Priest, stuff like that, and then on the, you know, Celtic Frost and Voivod and of course Slayer, you know, Morbid Angel, Deicide, Obituary, stuff like that. So for me, I think everybody in the band, growing up in the era of, you know, of first like heavy metal, and then getting into Venom and Slayer and, you know, Celtic Frost and stuff, always wanted it to be heavier, so we were always searching for heavier bands, you know. Then you're listening to Repulsion and Napalm Death and fucking Morbid Angel and Deicide and Sadist and all these fucking bands, you know. All those guys, Death, of course, you know. Chuck Schuldiner is like, to me, the greatest death metal singer ever, you know. That's my ultimate influence as far as death metal goes, especially like all the high screams that I do, all the fucking, you know, all that. That's all was really. Robert Bernani from Sacrifice as well, you know. Those kind of screams, they inspired the hell out of me, you know. And, you know, just as far as the deep stuff, I don't know, you know. I mean, you know, Glenn Benn and John Tardy and guys like that, you know. But growing up, of course, it was Sabbath and, you know, Dio and Ozzy and, you know, that stuff is what made me get into metal, you know what I mean? And then, you know, probably when I started really listening to like Slayer and Celtic Frost, when I started really thinking like, man, I want to be in a band, you know. When I was listening to like, you know, and we, of course, the whole time I'm still, you know, as I'm getting into heavier music, we're still listening to, you know, Accept and Judas Priest. You never stop listening to that kind of stuff, you know. You don't forget the, you know, where you came from, you know.
Did you hear the Cattle Calling record?
Yeah, dude, listen. I was actually in September. I was here at Emo's. I flew from Tampa to Emo's to come see Hank 3. Well, I think it was like New York or something. I don't know where the hell it was at, but come on, man. If you're gonna see country fucking music, you gotta come to Texas, man.
You gotta come to Texas.
And I was not disappointed, man. The crowd was amazing, and Hank was awesome. So, you know, like I've been listening to like Alex. He's the one that's just fucking nonstop fucking death metal. You know what I mean? Like all the time. And I mean, me to a degree as well. You know what I mean? But he's the one that he's usually online finding new bands. Hey, dude, check this out. Oh yeah, hell yeah. So, Hank 3, that's what's been like my iPod has just been just playing Hank 3. Oh, that sucked.
Well, George, thanks so much for taking the time to talk metal. You got any last words for your Cannibal Corpse watching at home?
Well, if you're watching from home and you're not here now, you suck. And unless, you know, you're like somewhere else. You're not in Austin or anywhere in Texas, you ain't got a fucking excuse. You should have been here, you suck. And yeah, look out for the new album. It doesn't have a title right now, but does have a title. And thanks for the support. Stay metal.